Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. 4 players who could depart United in January, and Thomas Frank's response to Mbeumo'S display against United. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. 4 Man United stars who could depart in January. Kobbie Mainoo, the United Academy graduate, has chalked up 80 appearances for the first team since bursting onto the scene in the 2022-2023 campaign. He played a pivotal role last term, yet his minutes have been severely rationed to a mere 138 across 7 league outings this season. Despite his evident class and maturity beyond his tender years, Mainoo is yet to start a single Premier League fixture. Joshua Zirkzee, he has managed just 82 minutes in the 2025-2026 season after being displaced by summer arrival Benjamin Sesko. Amorim has favoured deploying Mason Mount or Matheus Cunha as makeshift centre-forwards when Sesko is sidelined. Italian heavyweights Roma are reportedly keeping close tabs on the 24-year-old and could offer him a fresh start and a pathway back into international reckoning. Aid in heaven, he has scarcely had an opportunity to display his wares this term. The 19-year-old has featured for only 28 minutes across 2 outings, though he caught the eye during his brief cameo in the victory over Brighton. The lad is a highly promising centre-back who isn't shy about throwing his body on the line for crucial blocks. A loan spell may well be the sensible next step to garner experience and further his development. Manuel Ugarte, the Uruguayan midfield destroyer, has turned out in 8 league matches but started just 2, often appearing off the pace and short on confidence in possession. Casemiro currently provides greater quality to the side than Ugarte, which hardly reflects well on the 24-year-old. He'll need to knuckle down and impress Amorim in training. Thomas Frank's response to Bryan Mbeumo'S displays at Manchester United. The Premier League's 2025-2026 season has reached matchday 11, with the spotlight firmly on a fiery clash between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday. The Red Devils, scrapping for a European spot, travel to Spurs' fortress under the stewardship of Thomas Frank. This fixture is more than a battle for points. It's an emotional reunion between Bryan Mbeumo and his former Brentford boss, Thomas Frank, now at the helm of Spurs. Bryan Mbeumo, the versatile Cameroonian winger snapped up by Manchester United from Brentford for a hefty £70 million in last summer's transfer window, is the centre of attention. The 25-year-old has become a linchpin for United, netting 4 goals and providing 1 assist in 10 Premier League appearances, making him the club's provisional top scorer. His explosive displays, particularly cutting in from the right flank, have swiftly endeared him to the Old Trafford faithful. Yet, this time, Mbeumo faces Thomas Frank, the gaffer who nurtured his talent at Brentford. Under Frank's guidance over 3 seasons at Brentford, Mbeumo flourished, scoring 70 goals and laying on 51 assists in 242 matches for the Bees. Frank's innovative tactics built on high pressing and rapid transitions transformed Mbeumo into a constant menace on the wing. This reunion will doubtless stir fond memories, but it also heaps pressure on both men. Thomas Frank is no stranger to the Premier League. The ex-Brentford manager was poached by Spurs for the 2025-2026 campaign after consistently steering the Bees to mid-table finishes. In his debut season with Spurs, Frank has turned the side into one of the league's stingiest defences, conceding just 8 goals in 10 matches. Spurs currently sit 6th in the table, level on goal difference with United in 8th. For Mbeumo, this match is the ultimate test of his evolution as a player. Since joining United, he's had to adapt to the intense scrutiny of a giant club, where every slip-up risks front-page headlines. This season, Mbeumo has shown promising progress as a new signing, guided by Ruben Amorim's tutelage. Mbeumo has said Frank was like a second father to him at Brentford, teaching him volumes, but now he must prove he belongs at United. In his interview, Thomas Frank expressed immense pride in Bryan Mbeumo'S development at Manchester United. He acknowledged that Mbeumo needed time to settle, but his goals this term reflect extraordinary maturity for such a gifted player. Frank noted that Mbeumo is now more tactically disciplined under Ruben Amorim, making him even deadlier, and United are fortunate to have him, though he stressed his side would do everything to neutralize him in the upcoming match, as that's simply part of the game. Bryan Mbeumo has been sensational since his move to Manchester United, boasting a 38% shooting efficiency and averaging 2.7 successful dribbles per match. His blistering pace, hitting a top sprint speed of 35.2 km per hour, regularly tears apart opposition backlines, especially when exploiting space behind fullbacks with his trademark diagonal runs. In this encounter, United supporters are banking on Bryan Mbeumo to rip through Spurs' rearguard of Mickey van de Ven and Christian Romero. The Cameroonian's habit of cutting inside from the right onto his deadly left foot could punish any positional errors in Romero's bullish defending style and the pace of van de Ven. This fixture is also a proving ground for Frank on Spurs' grand stage, where he successfully instilled his pressing philosophy to forge a rock-solid defense that's shipped just 8 goals so far. Meanwhile, Mbeumo, now more adaptable in Amorim's system, is expected to capitalize on Spurs' transitional vulnerabilities to swell his goal tally. Manchester United monitoring young Brazilian striker. Manchester United are one of the clubs reportedly interested in Palmeiras striker Vitor Roque. The player and his representatives had discussed the possibility of a January move. Roque's situation at Palmeiras continues to be monitored by Manchester United and several other European clubs, with bids around £44 million anticipated in January. Since returning to Brazil from Barcelona, Roque has scored 13 goals in 28 matches for Palmeiras. He was signed for roughly £22 million last February, making him the most expensive player in South American football history. His impressive domestic displays have prompted several clubs to keep tabs on him, and a January transfer is increasingly tipped. Among the interested parties, Manchester United and Chelsea are said to be the most keen, with West Ham United also in the frame. Ruben Amorim is reportedly considering adding a new striker to his squad at Old Trafford to provide competition for Benjamin Sesko. Joshua Zirkzee has barely featured under the Portuguese manager, and speculation over the Dutchman's future has triggered a potential domino effect up front. Previously, Real Madrid's Endrick had been linked with a move to Manchester after being granted permission to leave Spain, but he is now set to join Lyon in France. Vitor Roque's name continues to circulate in the transfer rumour mill. The player's representatives have revealed that an offer of £30.8 million from the Arab world was turned down as it fell short of expectations. They are now awaiting a proposal of around €50 million from the Premier League. The original plan was to return to Palmeiras to regain form while exploring market opportunities. Should a suitable offer arrive that benefits all parties and is deemed the right moment to depart, Roque is open to listening, though he remains very content at the club. Roque's immediate focus is on winning the Brazilian Championship and the Copa Libertadores with Palmeiras. The Serie A season runs until early December, with Palmeiras currently topping the table, 1 point clear of Flamengo. A crucial clash against Flamengo in the Copa Libertadores final is scheduled for the 29th of November, meaning the Brazilian campaign will conclude before the January transfer window opens. Market activity surrounding Roque is expected to intensify after the Copa Libertadores final. Premier League clubs, particularly Manchester United, may accelerate negotiations if Palmeiras fail to retain their titles. This scenario allows Amorim breathing room to bolster his squad without rushing, while assessing internal options such as Zirkzee. Palmeiras are reluctant to lose a prized asset amid a fiercely competitive season. Roque's success has validated the initial investment, and the Brazilian club hopes to keep him at least until the end of the campaign. However, financial pressure from European bids could prove decisive, especially as Roque's market value has now soared well beyond his original transfer fee thanks to his consistent goal-scoring contributions and rapid adaptation following his Barcelona setback. Interest from Chelsea and West Ham adds further intrigue to the race. Both London clubs are in need of a clinical forward to boost their goal output. For Manchester United to come out on top, they will need to act swiftly with a compensation package that meets the expectations of Palmeiras and the player, given the intense competition in the Premier League that demands squad depth as well as the financial muscle to secure young talent before rivals seize the initiative. January will prove a pivotal moment in Roque's career. A switch to the Premier League could accelerate his development after a brief spell at Barcelona. For Manchester United, bringing in the young Brazilian aligns with Amorim's long-term vision of building a competitive squad, where Roque's pace, goal-scoring instinct, and tactical versatility could serve as a lasting solution to over-reliance on a single centre-forward while reinforcing the counter-attacking identity that has become the hallmark of the Portuguese coach's style. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.